What's up, these are my favourite new release horror movies that you can pick up from JB Hi-Fi for the month of May. So this is actually going to be a smaller haul than usual. There wasn't too many horror releases through the month of May that really jumped out and grabbed my attention, but then also my birthday is in the month of May, so I normally hit the brakes on spending my own money through this month and then just sort of let the horror movies come into me as presents and gifts for my birthday. But there was one horror release that really stood out to me through May that I'm putting all of my horror stock into, so I recommend grabbing out a pen and paper, writing this down. My favourite new release for the month of May at JB Hi-Fi is the movie Screamboat. Now, I'm sure a lot of you watching think that I'm sort of joking having this as my favourite release for the month of May, and don't get me wrong, I'm very aware of what type of movie I'm holding in my hand here, but at the same time, I genuinely am kind of excited for this movie. Now, this is one that had a little bit of talk and noise around it because it is one of those parody of an iconic character turned into a horror movie villain movies. We've had that with the whole Poohniverse going on with Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey Part 1 and 2. We've had a new one with Peter Pan, with Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare. We've got a Bambi one coming out. Popeye the Sailor Man's had a few now. And then we've also had the Grinch with his movie The Mean One. I think the Grinch is a perfect character to have a horror parody of, you know, this monster that lives up in the mountains and comes down to destroy Christmas. I think that's a really cool idea. Honestly, I'm waiting for the Cat in the Hat horror movie because the Cat in the Hat itself is just kind of scary as is, but I don't know where the rights are. This is a parody of Steamboat Willie. The rights have been turned over or moved along or whatever, so now anyone can make parodies of it, and this isn't even the first, but I think this could be the most hopeful. There seems to be a pretty well put together team behind the making of this movie. We have David Howard Thornton, who plays Art the Clown in the Terrifier series, playing Steamboat Willie, so this is one that I genuinely am kind of interested in. So don't get me wrong, I definitely understand this isn't going to be a movie for everybody, especially in terms for being a new release pickup, you know, going into stores and picking it up for that new release price as well. You know, do I really feel like paying X amount of money for a Steamboat Willie horror movie parody? Maybe not. Like usual, it'll probably drop over time, but like I was saying, I was actually genuinely really excited to pick up this movie. This is also a movie from the year 2025, so not only new on the shelves of JB Hi-Fi, just sort of new in general. So this is one I was really hopeful for and really excited to pick up. But even if you don't want to pick up Screamboat, JB Hi-Fi have some really good horror movies in at the moment, where towards the end of last year, coming into this year, the horror section on the shelves at JB Hi-Fi for me was a little bit bare and a little bit barren, but they're sort of having a good second wind. The shelves are starting to get stocked again, so there's a lot of good stuff there. So take this with a grain of salt, but also, as I said, grab a pen and paper, write this down, pick up Screamboat for the month of May at JB Hi-Fi.